All right, so for this assignment, it's a little more complicated, like I said, but not really once you get and break it all down. We're going to draw it step by step, introduce some new tools, put the measurements on there, and go from there. Again, when you're listening to these videos and you're watching them, just really try to pay attention to the little things, because the little things, make a difference without a doubt. So first thing you want to do is you want to name this new file as your last name, and then 2.2. Save that up into your folder. And again, we're going to be in our top-down view, like we are all the time. All right, so we'll get rid of our avatar. And although we can start these drawings a bunch of different ways, there's a lot of different ways to draw this. I'd recommend following along the way I'm going to do it now, which is I'm going to draw these lines here because I know them, because I can see the measurements. Like I can tell this is 5, this height's 1.5, so I'll start there pretty basic. All right, so it's going to be 5 across. 5 inches, I should say. And I've got to zoom in because that's pretty far out. And then 1.5 inches again. My tool stuck, so I'm going to click escape to get out of it. And then I'm going to move up again. All right, here, come on. Why is it difficult? 1.5. All right. Now, the new tool we're going to use today is the tape measure tool, and we're going to use that so that we can pretty much give us guidelines, because we got to figure out how to draw this arc, and we want to get these lines across the top without drawing a whole rectangle. So check it out. I'm going to use I'm going to use a guidelines tool to give me a guide that's going to tell me 4 inches where these tops are represented. So let's do that, and that's real easy. Tape measure tool's down here. I'll click it once. And when you use your tape measure tool, try not to ever click in like the midpoint, because you don't really get the line you want always, or a corner. Try to click somewhere else here. And just like the other tools, I clicked once, I let go, and now I'm going to start moving in the direction I want, which is 4 inches. Enter. And that pretty much defines the top of the line, or the top of the drawing. What else do I know? Well, this line is 1.5, and then this line is 2 inches from that. Let's add those. So again, tape measure tool, click one time, 1.5 inches, and then 1.5, or I'm sorry, 2 in the middle, 2 inches. Go back to the drawing. All right, this line's 1/2 inch down, easy enough. So we'll say 1/2 inch down from there, 0.5. And now we can kind of connect the dots here, and using my tape measure or my pencil tool, I'll zoom in, make sure I'm hitting the midpoint, so I'm exactly where I want to be, and just start drawing out that top part there. All right, so from here, what do we want to do next? Well, let's kind of finish off this part down here, and you notice everything's kind of in the same line, like 1.5, 1.5, straight down, 1.5, 1.5, straight down. I'm sorry, 2 inches. So if we put a line right here, well, we already have that. We have a guideline there. So that's the center point for this circle, this little half circle. So how do we get that? We need to know the center line, look at the drawing, say, oh, okay, it's 1 inch from there as well. So let's draw that one in. So I'll come down to the bottom, and with my tape measure tool, T, shortcut, I'll come up 1 inch. And now this shows me basically where the center of those circles were. That point is right here. And this circle has a radius of 1/2. So let's draw it. Circle tool. When you do it, just be careful. Zoom in, click your center, and then don't go off and go crazy on this. Make sure you're always dragging off on this line. And my radius is 0.5 inches. One there. One there. Straight line tool, pencil tool, zoom in, connect the tops, and that's it. Last thing I do is erase. All right, I'm also going to use my right click and find the center here, just so it puts that dot there. And now, almost done, really close to being done now. The last thing we got to do is figure out how the heck this arc works. And to do that, we'll look over here because you got some measurements. We already have this point. We know that the circle has a radius of 1, and at 2.5 inches up, that's where the center of this is going to be. So if we can get this intersection point, we can make our circle, and we can do that really easily. We needed to know how high was that. I think it was 2.5 inches up. Yeah, 2.5 inches up. So this goes 2.5 inches up. And this line just continues. So I'll double click this line, and that's going to be the intersection point of my circle. I draw my circle from that intersection down. All right, and this is where you got to be careful so this works. Do this precisely like this. Go down there, then zoom in. Make sure you get so that these lines all intersect. The two lines of the circle and the guideline. We go up, all the way up, over, and we'll delete that circle. And that's the arc that you want to do. So we'll do the same thing over here, like this. Our circle tool will come straight down. Line tool, zoom in. If you miss this spot, if you do that, it's going to throw your drawing off. So I always got to make sure you're nice and close and zoomed in. And across. Right click and erase the face. All right. From there, you just add all your measurements. So the bottom one was 5, I think. So it was 1, 2. I'm sorry, actually my dimension tool for that. 1, 2, 1, 2 there. Up here was 4. So top to bottom, 4. If you left your center points in your circle, it's a lot easier to get this measurement like that. And then basically filling in wherever else in the drawing you need them. So look at your drawing, get your radius measurements, there and there, and a couple along the top, I should say, and you're done. Make sure you delete all your guidelines when you're done, like so, like so. All right, and then we are submitting it just like that. All right, so 8 minutes, not terrible. I don't think could have been a lot longer.